Hey guys, let us start with importance of elasticity of demand today. Now looking at the board, don't get tense with the first line, that is just intro, in which I mentioned Lord Keynes. Lord Keynes is nothing but he is also very great economist who gave us many important theories like income and employment theory, liquidity preference theory, etc., which you will be studying in great detail in your future. But right now, this is just one liner intro. If you can remember it, you write, otherwise, you may just skip it. I'm explaining. Lord Keynes considered this concept to be the most important contribution of Alfred Marshall. That means Lord Keynes also acknowledged that Alfred Marshall has really given this very important concept of elasticity of demand. Now, how this is important concept? Let us see that one by one. In which all field, which all areas this concept is used, we are going to see that in this answer. Number one, importance to producer. Now see, whenever any producer produces the product, then he has to sell it. So while selling the product, how the price will be fixed? At that time, at the time of fixing the price of the product, the producer uses this concept of price elasticity of demand. That means if a product has relatively inelastic demand, now whenever I say this word inelastic, then immediately it should click to your mind that inelastic means non-changeable. Once you get this concept this way, then it will be easy for you to understand the answer. No need to mug up. You can directly write with your own logic. So if a product has relatively inelastic means non-changeable demand, then higher price can be easily fixed for the product because consumer are anyway going to buy the product. The product has inelastic demand, non-changeable demand. So in that case, a producer may keep the higher price and vice versa. Vice versa means opposite. Opposite means what in this case? If a product has opposite, that means relatively elastic demand. Elastic means changeable. That means demand changes with the price. Then it should come to your mind that if the price falls, demand will increase. Elastic means changeable demand, which will increase with the price fall. So in that case, the price has to be kept lower in order to get more customers. This is the first case, so I explained you the meaning of vice versa also. No need to explain that, you will just write and vice versa the same way I have written on the board, otherwise more confusion will be created for you. Then we move to the second point, importance to government. Now government is using this concept of elasticity of demand while fixing the taxes of different commodities and services. So in taxation policy, government uses the concept of EOD, that is elasticity of demand. Whichever commodities are having relatively inelastic demand, that means non-changeable demand, then in that case, government will put higher taxes on those commodities because government is very sure that even if these commodities are taxed heavily, still the demand will not get affected and people are anyway going to buy these products, and vice versa, opposite to this. That means if elastic demand, then keep the taxes lower. That's it. Coming to the third point, importance in factor pricing. Now this factor pricing also you are going to study it in future in this year only. You have it in coming lectures, coming chapters. Now what is this factor pricing? Factor pricing means to determine the prices of factors of production. I hope you know the factors of production: land, labor, capital, enterprises, etc. Okay. So whenever deciding how much amount to be paid to the factors of production, at that time also this concept is utilized. If a particular factor has relatively inelastic demand, then that factor can command a higher price as compared to other factors. That means, let us say example, supposing a skilled labor is required for a particular production process. then that skilled labor can surely command, can surely demand higher price, and firm will be ready to pay for that because that labor will be having inelastic demand. That means non-changeable demand. I hope you are getting the point. Next, point number 4, importance in foreign trade. See, while determining the terms of conditions of our foreign trade, while deciding the foreign trade policy of the country also this concept is utilized, especially during exports whenever our people, our businessmen are exporting commodities to the foreign countries. At that time, what they can do is again the simple thing, same thing. If their product is having relatively inelastic demand, then they can simply sell those products at the higher prices. So it is very, very useful in formulating the export import policy of India, of our country. Next, coming to the last point, public utilities. Try to get this point, be more attentive. See, in case of public utilities, like say railway, biggest public utility in India especially. So in that case, what happen is they have inelastic demand. So as I always tell you, in case of inelastic demand, prices can be kept higher. But here the government has to consider that government has to think about the masses, the public at large, also including majority of the normal public, the common public, which doesn't have much income also. And hence what government has to do is, since it's very essential service which has inelastic demand, so here the government either has to subsidize that product or service, or else government has to nationalize it so that the consumer exploitation can be avoided. Because just think, if this particular service which is used by majority of the population on a large scale, if this service is given in the private hands, then but natural, considering its relatively inelastic demand, private sector may charge higher price for it, and which won't be good for the common section, the poor section of the society. So considering that in case of public utility services, though it is relatively inelastic demand, but government nationalizes it in order to serve the society at large. I hope you getting this point. So this particular point number 5, you have to remember the concept specially because it is different sort of explanation, different concept in this. I hope you got it. Now, today's lecture is over. With this chapter elasticity of demand is also over. If you like this, if you understand this, then do like and share my lecture if you like it, if you understand it, and make sure to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.